Hollywood is burning, both figuratively now for several years and literally for the last couple of weeks, with the California wildfires continuing to rage on. And some people out there are taking this as an opportunity to go ahead and commit criminal acts, things like looting, something that I'm very sensitive to, having grown up in New Orleans my entire life and having lived through Katrina in 2005, and frankly, the aftermath of which was far worse than the storm itself. And looting was a big problem. But that doesn't stop some people out there on social media from making some of the most absurd and ridiculous excuses for this criminal behavior that I've ever seen. And you're not going to believe who this one individual in particular, or at least what type of society this individual in particular is going to lay the blame on for people looting. Renegade Online. This is one of the most bizarre reactions because, of course, with this kind of stuff, you have looting and you have crime and you have all this other kind of stuff that takes place in the aftermath of disasters because people literally are just there to take advantage of it, and that's all they want to do. But some people out there can't quite figure that one out. And if you're trying to figure out the I don't want to misgender this person.
It's a confused girl.
Yes, it would seem so. And even more confused than you might be thinking, because listen to what she's about to say.
I want to take a minute to talk about looting, because I think it's worth considering why people would run into an active fire to steal stuff, rather than fleeing the fire. And it seems like in the media coverage that I'm listening to, that people think that people are just like greedy who want to be looting. And I'm just wondering if maybe these people have actually considered whether it is safer for them to run into a fire or to continue to exist within capitalism without access to resources. And after weighing the pros and cons, they concluded that the safer option is to run into the fire to steal stuff.
What?
Make it make sense. And they literally live in like the most communist socialist state. I mean, there's a 13% state income tax, for crying out loud. Like, good Lord. Like, zip it.
They would rather run into a fire than to exist in capitalism.
Because you never see like Elon or Jeff or Mark running into a fire to steal stuff.
Because they're not criminals.
I just wish that like we really had time machines and we could take this confused, bad haircut woman and we could dump her into like Stalin's Russia and just see how much she likes communism. Or we could take her to Cuba, Venezuela. We could take her all kinds of different places in the past. Everywhere there was communism.
She could have headed on down to Cuba with Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. She loved visiting Cuba. She loved Castro. She's been going down there since the 80s, multiple trips a year to train in communism and Marxism. And City of California elected a lifetime bureaucrat with really no real-world private industry experience, whose educational background of that was a social worker, because that makes mayor of the second largest city in the United States perfect.
Because they don't have to run into a fire to steal stuff. They can just steal from their workers via wage theft.
Ah, there it is. So Elon and Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and all the rich people out there, they don't have to run into a fire. They can just steal it from their workers via wage theft. Yes, these are real people, and they vote.
And that's legal within capitalism. So if we want people to stop looting, I'm wondering if maybe the solution isn't to have more police, but rather to have a system where people don't feel like it's a better option to run into a fire. I want to take
what? Do you know what? I just vote right now. I just vote. Can we let I don't want to do it all for all of California because there's a lot of conservatives out there, but can we give San Francisco and LA and they can become like their own country, and we'll just see how quickly it collapses with their grand ideas.
Yeah, I'm I have an answer to this because on Monday, get ready, because we will be doing this. I've been holding that one in for days. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.